Hey guys, and welcome to Bullshit Games. I am the Lich Lord, and this is
The Merc.
And this is going to be an episode of Beer in Development, where we talk about some games, maybe some books, and just generally ramble on about stuff that we've been doing for the past week.
We're going to sit here, drink beer, and ramble to you, our favorite viewers.
Tell you what's been going on in our gaming lives, because you're all so interested in what we do.
So, grab your beer, kids, if you're over 21,
Yes.
or whatever the legal drinking is in your country or province, because I know some of you are not from America.
This is true. And
Get cozy, because it's fun time.
I guess a good spot to start is with the beer we are having. And yes, we have had more than one. This is Straub.
I don't know what he's talking about. This is our first one, honest to God.
Honest. This is Straub Lager, which is a Pennsylvania brewery. We live in Pennsylvania, if you didn't know that already.
Gonna show you how light it is.
It is pretty light. We have
Which is surprising for a lager.
You can't really tell because it's a brown bottle. It looks like it's a darker beer, but it is it's very light. It's very much like a Pilsner.
It's the color of certain other liquids.
But the brewery originally started in 1872 in Pennsylvania. It was supposedly a original German recipe that they used, that settlers brought over with them. And I'll just read off what it says on the bottle. Brewed by Straub craftsmen in the Allegheny Mountains and bottled in reusable glass for sustainability. It has no preservatives, no salt, and no sugar, which is cool. I think that's
I kind of like the whole sustainability reusable bottles thing.
Yeah.
I am kind of glad that you've got a sort of off the wall beer for tonight, because I was gonna stop at Wegmans and get a 6-pack of Flying Dog, but
Okay.
I decided not to.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's light. Not light.
I'd say it falls into the same kind of area as like Busch, Coors,
Really?
Miller. Yeah,
I think I'd put it a little bit above those.
probably around because I like Miller
say,
High Life, so I'd say it's kind of around Miller High Life level of taste.
Yeah, like Miller High Life, Labatt.
Yeah, it's not like
Maybe
Yingling,
Molson.
not like Yingling at all.
Not quite.
If you like a heavy beer with like a full body flavor, this is not.
It's definitely not a heavy beer. It's definitely more of like a Pilsner.
Hmm.
Not light, but it's pretty low. I'll put that out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a light beer. It's not labeled and it's not marketed as a light beer.
Which it has all the calories that a regular beer does, and it comes in pints.
Yes, that's the coolest part. This is a pint bottle. I don't know if these exist anywhere else. I have never seen. I mean, other than independent brewers,
Mhm.
they do a lot of stuff like that. But,
yeah.
And I guess these guys are an independent brewer too.
Yeah.
But coming in 24 packs, I have never seen pint bottles. I'm sure there are some out there, but
yeah.
I should mention too that this for a 24 pack was only $20.
Well, 24.
Plus, there was a charge for the returnable bottles. So it's $24. When you go back to the distributor, they will give you your deposit, which is $4. So, in essence, if you take it back, it's $20.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's sustainable.
I will say it was kind of odd. We had a broken bottle in our box.
Yeah. I don't know what that was all about.
A little weird.
Don't know what that was all about.
But it's not bad beer.
It's a decent. I mean, if I were to give it a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 7.
I'd say like a 6.5.
Yeah.
So close, but not quite as
Very
high.
good. I mean, and
I think you like a little lighter beers than I do.
I do.
Yeah.
But our 10 is pretty high. So that's saying something.
10 is usually reserved for craft beers from microbreweries.
Yes.
So
IPAs and things of that nature. Because IPAs are just
good stouts.
But yeah, I don't know for certain if this is available in other countries / other states. I've never seen it outside of Pennsylvania. Yeah. So if you are ever in the Commonwealth, yes, Pennsylvania is a Commonwealth.
Pennsylvania.
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and you want to try something different that you've never had before, check out Straub, because it's not bad.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go with that. Good. That's kind of it for the beer of the evening. Beer? Because we can't do beer in development without beer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we just sit here, drink beer, and ramble as we get more drunk.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good time.
It's great.
It's a good time.
It's wonderful. It's a good thing.
So now, The game we've played this evening so far, it's only like 9 o'clock in the evening. And because we're broke college students, we're probably going to stay and play more board games and not go to the bar. Was Letters from Whitechapel.
Letters from Whitechapel, which is... You get the whole thing there. Show you the front and the back.
His pieces go everywhere.
Pieces of the board game go everywhere. But yeah, that's kind of a look at the box.
I will say, it's a Fantasy Flight game.
Yes.
Now, I think we've talked about Fantasy Flight games a few times before in here. I know we've talked about Conan. But unlike most Fantasy Flight games, when you open it up and there is just a metric ton of tokens to punch out and wade through, not so with this game, which was kind of refreshing.
And I guess I can kind of open the box up.
Show you some of the components.
Just show it compared to other Fantasy Flight games. It's simple.
There's not a whole bunch.
I guess start out with the board. I'm not going to open it up.
Yeah, the board is
generally
basically
the board. It's pretty thick. It's pretty good sized board.
6 panels. It's 6 panels.
But
it's
you can
6
get
panels.
You can get kind of an idea of what the game's all about from that.
The cool thing about the board is it has historical notes from like the time of the murders, which is 1888.
And
it's the rule book.
Yep.
Which, unlike some Fantasy Flight games, is not monstrous.
It's
only, I think,
how many pages is it? Let's see.
15?
It's 23.
23 pages.
So,
23
I mean, that's not good. No.
I know, there's a lot of historical stuff in there that I just didn't know.
Yeah, and
I didn't know.
I'm kind of a history nerd, I get into that kind of stuff. And obviously, the game is about the basics of the game is about the Whitechapel murders done by Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
I think it's like in the 1890s.
1880s.
1880s. Okay.
1888, almost 1890. Yeah.
And basically, it's if I were to explain the basic game scenario in like 3 or 4 words, I'd say it's a game of cat and mouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, one character plays Jack the Ripper.
And everybody else plays the police.
Everybody else plays the police, which it is a 2 to 6 player game. We just played it with us two.
Yep.
We didn't
because we have no friends.
Yeah, apparently.
Lying. We don't have friends that are board
just
gamers.
Not here right now.
At least not here.
But as I said, one player plays Jack the Ripper. The others play police officers. He was police officers.
I was the police
investigators, and I was Jack the Ripper.
And unlike in real history, the police won.
They caught him. They caught Jack.
Only 2 whores were killed.
He only killed 2. Could have killed more. No, that sounds wrong.
It does sound kind of bad.
I could have got more. This is a game we're talking about here, right?
He's a serial killer.
Yes. Me, of all people. No. But, I don't know. I guess I can... One of the things I'll say for this game is that it doesn't have a million little cardboard cutouts.
Which is just fantastic.
Most of the pieces are these... I think they're made out of wood.
The Wretched.
Yeah.
Which is the horse.
Yeah. Jack the Ripper pieces, and I think there's
5 different colored constables.
5 different colored constables, which are these guys.
And there's 2 Jack the Ripper tokens.
And, yeah, there are 2 Jack the Ripper.
There's 5 Wretched tokens.
There are also some of these things which are kind of like investigation. No, not investigation.
That's murder markers.
Murder markers. Murder! But, yeah, there are also these things which
does only come into play if you're playing...
Unless you have more than
2 people.
Yeah, more than 2.
Because that's who is the lead investigator for the evening for that night.
But I will say that I had a great time playing the game.
It was a great game. There's a lot of thought involved.
It is definitely a strategic game. It's definitely It's definitely a game of wits. It's more trying to outwit your opponents than trying to beat them with brute force or anything like that. Which there are some games out there which are just like defeat your enemy with brawn. Where this is. You got to think about it, and you got to think really closely because, there's a lot of different possibilities and what could happen. And
I will say, the neat thing about the game is, as the detective player, if you can kind of logically figure out where Jack the Ripper has gone, you have a decent chance of catching him.
Yeah.
There's no overpowered, there's no broken mechanics. There's no card decks.
No, it's very
There's no dice.
It's very even.
It's really all thought-based.
I never felt at one point during the game as Jack the Ripper that it was too easy for the cops to get me, and I think you probably didn't think it was too easy to catch me either.
No.
I hope not, at least.
No.
But
the only thing, like I said, once I kind of had an idea of where your hideout was,
Yeah.
It became kind of easier to logically sort of spread the net, so to speak, and catch you in that regard.
And I think one thing that would make it much more difficult for the investigators is having more than one player.
Yeah.
I think with you as being one player, you can really consolidate what you're going to do. You can plan what you're going to do. But when you have multiple, let's say you have 6 players altogether, so there's 5 investigators, it'd be really difficult, really difficult to coordinate everything that's going on.
Well, the one thing I will say about having more than one detective player is you might have somebody playing a detective that sees something that the other players don't see and can kind of go off on that path and maybe actually be the one that successfully catches the Ripper.
But the thing is we all know that one guy.
Every group has that one
leaves
guy.
Like the main street that the Ripper has to go up in order to get back to his hideout. There's always that guy.
You know, that guy that's like, the Ripper's over there!
Like, no,
and he goes like 6 moves out of the way, and you're like,
what did you do?
I don't want you on my team anymore. I don't want you on my team anymore. Teammate privileges revoked.
But you just can't get rid of him. He just keeps coming back.
You just can't get rid of him because he's like, oh, you guys are playing board games? Sweet!
We're playing board games.
Yeah, we are. I guess you can play.
But, I also should mention that this...
It's a remake.
Is a remake game. It is not originally from Fantasy Flight Games. I don't know the original publisher. I wish I did.
What does that say?
Chester Cobblepot.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
So that might be there. Chester Cobblepot Board Games.
That might be the
Sir
original.
Chester Cobblepot. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that might be the original.
That might have been the original, but this was a remade game.
But Fantasy Flight does that a lot. I mean, a lot of times they remade Nexus Ops, they remade Fortress America.
Yeah.
You know, they do that. And they have the ability to do it because they're a good company.
They're a great company. I mean, they just do good. They do good stuff. They do good work. Let's put it that way.
I think now that we've played that, we have played just about every board game we have here, except for the Game of Thrones game. But that requires 3 or more players.
3 or more players.
So that hasn't panned out yet.
But yeah, other than the fact that I don't have the previous game to go off, I will say this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoyed it. If you played the original game, let us know.
Yeah,
maybe you played the revised edition, which is this one, and you hated it, which I find that hard to believe.
Hope not.
I hope you didn't, because I loved it. I thought it was great. But maybe the original game was like so much better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So other than that, I'll say this game is great, and I really enjoyed it.
I will say it is not a game to play after you've had a few adult beverages.
No.
Unless all players have had adult beverages, and then it probably is pretty hilarious.
Yeah. But I think I bought it for like $50, and it's definitely worth it. So I mean, if you have been thinking about getting this or on the fence, I would say go for it, because if you have one friend, you will have fun.
If you have one friend, you and your one friend can have fun together.
Time.
If you have more than one friend, then you're set.
You'll be great.
You'll be good.
But
isn't it funny that the pastime that is considered the most nerdy is the one that requires the most social interaction?
Yeah, this is true.
To actually be able to play a board game, a miniatures game, or a role-playing game, you have to have real-life friends.
Yeah. You can't just go on a computer.
Not like an online game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it requires face-to-face, sometimes not like violent confrontation, but confrontation to a certain extent with a fellow human being who is across from you.
You're matching wits with someone in the same room as you, and it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
It's an interesting cross-section of the culture that is the nerd culture.
Yeah.
We are an interesting group of people.
Yeah, definitely.
But that is a completely different video.
That's
a whole nother video, which we could talk. We could probably talk for an hour on.
Oh yeah.
On that.
But I think that'll do it for.
I think tonight is mostly going to be a board game night because I'm feeling kind of lazy. I don't want to throw down a bunch of like minis and play. I just kind of want to play something on a board. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I agree.
But maybe, probably not next weekend, but maybe next month, we're going to get back into some Infinity.
Yes.
Because I know some of you out there that watch us are Infinity fans, and we kind of started off with a teaser when we started our channel. We were really gearing up towards Infinity. We had the Aleph, and I have the Nomads. He has the Ariadna and the Combined. We've only played one game so far, but that was enough to make me really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's just, unfortunately, has become kind of overshadowed by Spartan Games. Dystopian Wars.
Spartan Games is like crack. You start playing a Spartan game, and you're like, ooh, let's just play this for like 3 months until we're burned out.
I think the first thing I'll say on that, though, is not because it's a better game. It's just because we've had other people in our group get into Spartan Games, Dystopian Wars.
And I think Dystopian Wars is a little easier to teach other players than Infinity. Infinity is really, really complex.
It doesn't take quite as much setup either.
Yeah.
You have to set up so much terrain for Infinity. So.
You have to set up. We have a 5x8 table here, and the time we played Infinity, we set up 1/2 of the table with all the terrain we had, and that was enough terrain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
pretty much it right now. We will eventually play,
but I mean
that again. We will definitely eventually play Infinity again, but right now. We've been kind of preoccupied by Dystopian Wars. And
the nice thing is, too, we're going to come back to Infinity because we've kind of slowed down on getting involved in new minis games.
Yeah.
I know right now we might be looking for, one more game?
Yeah, probably. Manic.
And I think we're looking either at Dreadball for Manic, because I played the original Blood Bowl. And I have Battle Ball from Milton Bradley.
Yeah.
And
really great game.
A miniature-based sports game is really it's great fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also kind of looking at Malifaux. I know they just kind of rebooted the rules, or putting out all new plastic starter sets.
Yeah.
So that's another one that I'm kind of looking at.
Yep.
And I know Drop Zone Commander just dropped their 2-player starter set, and that was a game that I really followed from the first time I heard about it up till now.
Yeah.
So, if I buy into a new game, it'll be one of those 3.
Yeah. I agree too. I mean, those 3 all sound pretty awesome. There are some other things from Manic Games that I have.
Dead Zone looks pretty
Dead
good.
Zone, both Kings of War, I think.
Kings of War and Warpath.
They all look pretty awesome. But right now I don't have all that much money, so I'm not really looking at getting into either of those because I think they're more.
Yeah.
I think they're games that would actually take substantial amount of money to build an army with. But
maybe not so much Manic, because Manic is all about building big armies kind of cheap.
Yeah. I guess at this point we can kind of do an update on Dystopian Wars, since we've been talking about it a little bit.
Dystopian Wars, yeah.
I got more stuff. I got more stuff.
Surprise!
I have my Ottoman Empire army navy has become twice the size that it was. I got the support pack, the support fleet, I should say, and the Dreadnought, 2 heavy cruisers. I think it came with destroyers, and there were some more frigates and more bombers and more planes. But yeah, I really like the Ottomans. They're pretty awesome. I feel like I've neglected my Prussians to a certain extent, but a little bit. They have a lot of stuff. They have a Dreadnought and a Zeppelin.
You did get a Dreadnought for both your fleets. Yeah. I feel kind of like I'm behind in the arms race.
Some of the things are just like, Dreadnoughts are so cool.
I mean, I have a carrier for both my fleets, but
and you have the Russians. You have the Russians.
I know when it comes to my fleets, I think probably around Christmas I'm going to get the support fleet for... Is it the support fleet? No, it's the Hunter fleet for the Battle Flotilla. That's what it is. For the Russians, which is a Dreadnought, the gunships, destroyers. I think that's it. There might be a couple of frigates in there.
Flyers too.
No,
bombers?
No, I don't think any bombers. And for the Americans, I'm probably going to get the support fleet. Give me another carrier, some escorts, some I think destroyers.
Yeah. We actually found out that we were playing something wrong.
Yes, we were playing tiny flyer tokens completely wrong. We were treating their attacks as combined ranged attacks, where you took the full attack of one and half of each of the others, which is completely wrong. They get their full attack dice in combined attack because they're tiny flyer tokens. And because Spartan Games is evil, and I have a self-control issue, I have been trying to find a third fleet to buy into. And I will say the Italian states are very, very cool looking. And I know I've watched a couple of unboxings from you guys, your channels, and they're really cool. I really like them.
I
and
like
the Australians.
I like the torpedo boats. I think the torpedo boats for the Italians are really, really cool idea.
I'm still really interested in the Antarcticans too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. and Chinese.
And the Chinese are really cool.
Other than that, though,
the only faction I'm not really interested in is the Empire of the Blazing Sun.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of holding off on getting a third fleet until I see if Spartan releases the Free Greeks. Because if they release the Free Greeks and their ships look cool, I'll be all over that.
Yeah.
Because I like Greek myth and things of that nature.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, we're still 110% Spartan Games.
And what are our other people in our group? What are they playing? I think we've been through this, but I guess we can recap that.
Really, the other guy that's really into the game with us, he has the Republique of France and the Kingdom of Britannia.
Yeah, and he also got an Armored Clash army. I think
he has Armored Clash both the Brits and the French.
Yeah, which neither of us have Armored Clash. I don't want to say I'm reluctant to get it. It looks awesome.
It does.
It looks really great. But I think what was it? Drop Zone Commander.
Yeah,
I was kind of more interested in getting that. But
I feel like Armor Clash will be too much like, well, my battleship's just on land.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd have bought into Armor Clash before I bought into the Dystopian Wars, the naval, I might be okay with it. But I just feel like now that.
Yeah. Then I think with Dystopian Legions, I'd rather just stick to that and do that for the
Dystopian Wars.
No, with the Legions is the ground
battles. 28mm. Yeah,
instead of doing like the small ground battles, do the Legions ground battles because I don't know. But
the one thing I will say,
it's a possibility.
That was kind of cool. I was on Spartan's website, and in Studio Sparta, which is the group that does kind of like offshoot games. They're going to be releasing the 28mm Uncharted Seas model soon.
Oh, that could be...
Which will be pretty cool.
That could be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a game we should really play again at some point, but I feel like it's like everything else has become overshadowed.
Yeah.
And I think
that's the problem when you're like us, and you're like, ooh, games! And you're like, oh, I got too many. I got too many.
I think Dystopian Wars is... Well, I don't know. I haven't played Uncharted Seas in a while, so I won't say it's more of a three-dimensional game. I
think the problem with Uncharted Seas was the new rule update came out, and it just felt like such a shift. Like I had to download and print out all new fleet rosters, and I'm just being lazy. We're both just being lazy.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or
you want to talk about gaming stores in the?
Oh yeah.
In the twilight moments of this video, why don't we touch upon gaming stores? So I know if any of you have been watching the Quest for Gaming at college, I have mentioned a few times that a new gaming store opened up in my college town. I got the chance to visit it last weekend, and I will say I was very underwhelmed. I mean, I was really just disappointed. I think it's because myself and the Lich Lord and our other friend, we have talked about we have ideas and we have a general plan of how to lay out a gaming store. Because I mean, in a few years, it might be something we look into if we have the money to do it. But when I walked into that gaming store, and the guy that owns it was there, and he didn't say anything to me. He didn't say hi. He didn't say, what are you looking for today? Can I help you find anything? That's not a good indicator. That's not a good sign of things to come. And their product was nearly non-existent. And he had a wall of obscure old board games, which I thought was cool, because I love board games. Mm-hmm. But it was just obscure games I'd never heard of, and just this random smattering of miniatures that didn't make any sense. And apparently he's going to do everything by mail order, which that's fine, but you lose out on the impulse buys. And I had every intention, if he'd have had it, I would have bought the new War Machine Army book for Convergence when I went in there.
I haven't been there, so I can't speak from firsthand. But
You're not missing out on anything.
But yeah, I kind of forget what I was going to say. Add to that. But,
I mean, I just,
yeah,
I guess maybe I don't know. I don't know if my expectations are too high with gaming stores because, like I said, we have a general plan of how we would run one, or because I've been to a couple good ones.
Right. I think you need to be kind of patient with people trying to start out. It's obviously something that's probably difficult to find a customer base.
Yeah.
But at a college town, that's not really true. You should be able to find that base.
I know there's
that base gamer. I know you should be able to.
I get too that Magic drives. Collectible card games drive most of the profits for a miniature store.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's a huge Magic the Gathering group up where I go to school.
Mm-hmm.
But that's no excuse not to have product for like miniatures gamers, role players, things like that.
Which I really think role-playing books, especially, would bring quite a bit of
dice, just dice.
Dice, yeah.
I mean, his selection of dice, it was like 10 D20s all in separate bags for like $2.50 a piece. No, no. I mean, I don't know. It felt like he had planned. It felt like he wanted more of a gaming club than a gaming store.
Yeah.
So sadly, that was my experience with the local gaming store in my college town.
Yeah, it happens. There is one in our town
which is not that bad.
It's great, but I was thinking about the other one. It's more of a comic shop.
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
I don't want to mention anything. I don't want to.
No, that place closed.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
okay.
Not just comics closed.
I can see why.
Not just comics closed. I thought you were talking about America's Most Wanted.
No, I've been down there in a long time. I don't know what that place is like.
But that was my experience with I'll say the name, Gamers Haven in Mansfield. Like I said, I mean, the guy did just get started. It's only been open for like a month or two. But it seems like he's pretty set in mail order and things like that. And I don't know. I don't feel like it's going to go very far.
Give him time. He might do all right. You never know.
It might be okay. But I was disappointed. I was underwhelmed. It's a good way to alienate customers when someone who's never been in your store before, even if they have been in your store before, walks in and you don't say anything to them at all. I worked in retail, and that is just not the way to run a business. But that's kind of the tangent on that. I think something we should mention is it's almost October.
Yes.
And we will be doing something for Halloween. Because I know personally Halloween is, outside of the 4th of July, Halloween is my favorite holiday. And I didn't get to celebrate the 4th of July this year, so I am damn well celebrating Halloween. There will be shenanigans of some variety. If we can figure out a way to do it, we had talked a little bit about maybe doing a live stream of playing some horror games and things of that nature. But there will be something. I don't know. Even if it's just us dressing up in goofy costumes.
It's just something stupid that we do.
Telling a scary story. It'll be something, I promise. Because it's Halloween, and my God, we'll do something for it.
But I don't know. Other than that, I don't think...
Everything else coming up? I mean, Quest for Gaming at College is going to continue.
Yep, there will be a book review up next week. I'm not sure what of.
Book review? It'll probably be towards the end of the week.
Okay.
Probably like Friday, Saturday, Saturday-ish.
And I'll probably be recording that in my house again, not in the office. Yeah. Which I know I wanted to say this before my videos, but I know that my video/audio quality is not quite as good on my own computer. But I think it did all right. I think it sounded all right. Let me know. Leave a comment if you didn't like it. I'll find a way to do it up here. But that kind of saved us time by me doing that there. We had more time to game, which is always good. So
also, do you like the title at the beginning of our videos? Like I started doing that for the Quest of Gaming at College.
Yeah,
I know I did it on the blooper reel. So do you, the viewers, feel that having a introduction title makes things feel a little bit more professional, I guess is the word. Because that's what we're aiming for here at Poolshed Games. We're aiming to look professional.
We are? We are, actually.
Kind of.
Are we? Are we? Yes.
Yes, we are. We are.
We try. It's hard, but we try.
Yeah. If we do a live stream, it'll probably be on Twitch TV instead of YouTube. Just because it'll be easier that way. But we'll have the footage, which will probably go up on YouTube at some point.
Yeah.
But hey, that's in the future. We don't even know if that's going to happen yet.
Yeah,
so,
right. We shall see.
We shall see. I think that's about it. It's about a half hour. That's usually how long we ramble on our wonderful
Beer
and development videos. Yeah. Which is really just a chance to give you guys some insight into what we have coming up and to see a little bit of interaction between the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, lately it's been like...
Because we haven't had a duo video in a while.
Yeah, it's been... I mean,
we hate each other.
Yes.
Completely.
That's where we hang out all the time.
He's a dick.
Hey! No.
Of course you would deny that. No, really, he's a nice guy.
Him, on the other hand.
Yeah, me, I'm a horrible person.
I'm kidding. But no, it's been this video, I think.
I think that's about it for us here.
Like and subscribe if you like what we're doing.
Hopefully you enjoyed this just half hour of random nonsense, because really nothing got accomplished.
We should mention that this is the second video we did. The other one, it was like half an hour also.
We got bogged down in something we're going to talk about in another video.
Yeah. And it was like, it got too scrambled, so hopefully this one is a little bit more concise.
It's not.
In that one. It's probably not, but
it's all good. If you like what we're doing here at Bullshit Games, leave us a comment or a thumbs up. If we're doing something you don't like, why don't you leave us a comment and tell us why instead of just leaving us a thumbs down. Subscribing's always good. It makes him really happy. And he needs those moments.
Yeah.
He does. Anybody that favorites our videos, you guys are awesome. I don't even know if that's happened yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Can you tell if it happened?
I don't know. But it would be fantastic. That was super cheesy. I apologize.
It's okay.
I don't really apologize. Sorry, not sorry.
Apology accepted.
Hashtag YOLO swag.
YOLO Bilbo Swaggins. In the Fellowship of the Bling.
Hashtag Bilbo Swaggins. Hashtag YOLO.
Yes.
Hashtag
Fellowship of the Bling.
Fellowship of the Bling. Hashtag gamer problems.
Over.
Hashtag this can go on forever.
Over.
Hashtag hit the stop button.